is up, guys? I am back with another Friday YouTube video for y'all, and today I am doing a toy review, but why don't I introduce myself? So I'm KOS Avenger, otherwise known as Rebel80, and today, as I said, we're going to be doing a first ever toy review. This is not a part of the Aaron Zajac show. I know in my announcement video I said we would be doing other things, we'd be doing other reviews. We just did our first book review. I actually just made that a few moments ago, and today we are going to be having our first toy review. So it'll be interesting. So, what are we reviewing today? Well, we are reviewing the Lego Star Wars set 75211, which is the Imperial TIE Fighter. It is 519 pieces total, and it comes with 4 minifigures. And you can see the cover art with the TIE Fighter, and you can see the Star Destroyer in the background there, and the 4 minifigures. And so if you look on the back, it basically just details how you can fire the missiles right there by flicking them. They're the new flick fire missiles. This is a part of the Solo movie, so this is kind of based on that. And so Lego Star Wars has been around for a long time. It was actually one of their first genres that they ever made. It was the first quote-unquote system for Lego was Lego Star Wars. And yeah, so let's get to it. And so the newer Lego sets do this is from like 2018, or so. You know, this is actually quite a modern day Lego set. It does come with a brick remover and a stud remover. These things are really great to include. I think it, you know, the newer kind of Lego sets have these, but for those of you that, you know, grew up on earlier versions of Legos, they didn't have these. So you had to pry Legos by hand, and it hurt a lot. You know, there's videos nowadays about people stepping on Legos, like, okay, but prying Legos with your fingernails, like, that hurts. Anyway, so, enough about that. So, here is the manual. So this is the instruction manual. This is how you build it. This is where the magic happens. This is where this thing gets built. And then on the back here, you can see an advertisement for Lego. It's basically saying if you provide feedback, you could have a chance to win a prize. So it does come in the back with a list of all the parts needed in case you lose parts or whatever. And of course there are some fellow advertisements. They always have these in the newer Lego manuals. I've been collecting and building Legos since I was about 5 years old. This actually came along with my love for Star Wars, and one of the first Lego sets I got was a Lego Star Wars set. It looks a lot different than now, but that's not what we're here for. So, we have 4 different minifigures, right, to actually go over. So, the first kind of figure here, here's the front, here's the back. This is the Imperial TIE Fighter pilot. He actually pilots the ship. We all know from the movies that when you see this guy, he's usually in the pilot seat, right? And he does come with a weapon. I just have the weapon in the compartment. Oh, I don't want to knock my camera, but there is a little compartment up top here. Wait, am I pointing it to it right? Yeah, it's right about, it's there, but also on the other side there. You can see where the blaster will go. So he does come with a blaster pistol. I just have it in that little compartment area there, so it's being held there, but I can take it out. One of the things I like about this minifigure here, the decor on the actual helmet kind of really matches the decor on the front, but you know, they don't actually have, if you look at the side of the torso doesn't really have that decor. The back has it, um, but you know, that's not it. And you know, the only thing I really have to say that I really don't like is this kind of shade back here. Um, I don't like how the helmet doesn't go all the way down, because like if you watch any of the movies, like the helmet goes all the way down over their face, and I think even earlier Lego versions had that. And you know, I can actually take his helmet off and you can actually look at his face. He's got that generic angry clone face for those of y'all that know that when they, I think it was what, 2012, 2011 maybe, they started having kind of the clone troopers for Lego Star Wars. They all kind of sort of had this very kind of like angry expression on their face. So it doesn't have any kind of reverse face. It just has an angry face on there. I kind of wish in Lego sets that they could give you faces of the characters so that you could change their expression. That way you don't just have to like see an angry face. I think it would be kind of cool because that way, you know, you could have the reverse heads for sure. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, here's the Han Solo character here. He has a face on the back and he has a face on the front. So that's what I mean by reverse faces. But we'll get to Han later. Um, you know, like I said, I kind of wish they had like the reverse faces, but that they had more expressions for them rather than just, I'm either really happy or I'm really angry. And I'm pretty sure I just made an accurate depiction of his face. But anyway, so why don't we actually move on with Han Solo? So for those of you that have not seen the Solo movie, I totally recommend you go and see it. And if you haven't, well, then you probably have scars now. You should go see it. So Han comes with a kind of blaster rifle, right? Um, he also comes with a pretty cool helmet. It's oh, I think it's on that side, yeah. It's got the little red part on his helmet there, and if you actually look, here, I'll just put it on for a second. If you actually, oops, let me adjust this, there we go. If you actually look, the head kind of piece that Han is wearing, it actually has goggles on the front. I kind of sort of wish they did what earlier Lego models did and you were able to kind of pull the goggles down. That would have been pretty cool. And of course, really interesting to see, you know, the kind of torso there matches along with the kind of decor on the legs, and you know, the back sort of matches as well. But as we can see on either side, um, you know, there's no side printing there, so you know, that kind of makes it a little bit not as matching. Oh yeah, he also comes with a cape, so that kind of matches the whole outfit. So and yet again, you can change Han's expression. You can either make him happy or you can make him really angry, depending on how you feel. And that pretty much sums it up for Han. Alright, next up we have the Membon Stormtrooper. I just first off think this is really awesome. He looks like an army commando, but as a stormtrooper, and he's gray. He looks awesome to me. So he's got the camo sort of going on his helmet. He's got it on the torso. The legs all match. That's great. And again, I have to emphasize, the back looks great, but when you look at the sides here, they just don't match. And I think they could have gone into better detail. And if you look at the back of the helmet, there's no camo on that. So I think they could have done a better job there. But otherwise, he looks pretty intimidating. Comes with a blaster. Here, I'll show it to you. Pretty generic. Comes with a blaster pistol. And another cloak kind of comes with, this is kind of like the paper kind of cloth capes that they have now. And again, he has that generic kind of angry clone face. So, yeah. Alright, last but not least, our fourth minifigure of this set is Tobias Beckett. He is one of the characters in the Solo movie. Again, if you haven't seen it, you gotta go see it, man. So, this is him in his disguise, so he looks a lot like an Imperial officer. I do like the detail they made in his hat there with the little emblem. And if you look at his chest, you can actually see the ranks. I know it may not be as good to see there, but, I like that. And again, as I said before, the back looks great, the front looks great, even the legs kind of match up nicely, but the sides, there's just nothing there. There's no angry face for him. He just sort of has a generic. He reminds me of the earlier Lego figures that they had this generic Lego figures back in the day had like early 2000s and like 90s. They had this yellow kind of colored head, but they also had this like generic expression on their face. So they would always smile like this. They would smile, and that was literally their expression. Or they would just have their face would be a line. And I kind of feel like, they did have some emphasis, of course. Obviously it's paler. You can see some outlines, sort of in the cheeks there. But again, this really doesn't, feel kind of like the movie character. It just sort of has a generic face with like a beard and a goatee. This guy kind of looks like me if I were in this in a Lego form. And of course, he comes with he comes with two kind of short blaster pistols, and you can see that his hands have gloves kind of on them, so there's that. That pretty much covers the characters. So now we're going to move on to the main attraction, which is the actual TIE Fighter itself. Now, just from me holding this thing is pretty big. It's a lot bigger than what the old Lego sets used to be. So like the 2006, 2007, like the blue and black ones of these that they used to have, I actually have that, but I don't know where it is, but I think it's a different fighter. It's the TIE Fighter Advanced. I could be wrong. Or no, it was a TIE Interceptor, but that's... Anyway. This is a lot bigger. This is almost exactly the same thing as the First Order. If you bought their TIE Fighter for when either The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi came out, the design is basically the same. Um, you know, this is pretty steady. You know, this does not break easily. I do like the design. I like how they made it. It looks like a really gigantic TIE fighter, but it looks authentic. And it has these flick fire kind of. Oops, I'm sorry. I don't mean to whack it. It has these flick fire missiles in the background so that if you flick it, it'll actually go out. You can see that the engine there is kind of, you know, iconic kind of engine going on there. Um, the uh, the cockpit opens up the top, and it opens up kind of in the center, so that's kind of different. Some of the other kind of models of ships that I've seen for Star Wars, they have one kind of piece that goes up. That's mostly for the older ones. And it has a little harness in there so that if I take my TIE fighter pilot here and I stick him in, and you know, I can stick him in there. I know he's not. Come on, buddy. Get in there all the way. Oh my goodness, we're having some technical difficulties here. Alright, I think he's in pretty good. How does that look? Oh, does that look, is that? Oh, what? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. It looked weird on camera, but anyway. Alright, and I can just sort of lift that piece up, and that's kind of a little harness for him. And boom, you're ready for action. And yeah, like I said, 519 pieces. Just a few more things to go over before we'll pretty much cut it off here. So this set costs about 70 bucks at the Lego store. I kind of feel like that's way overpriced. I should be getting 2 ships with that. You know, I never understood why they give you this you know, big ship, and they give you, you know, not that these aren't good, you know, minifigures, which, you know, they are quite good and well designed, but I feel like I should be getting a second ship as a part of that, you know, or I should be getting at least maybe a storage compartment or something along with that. And I know someone's gonna be like, but TIE fighters don't have storage compartments, and I'm like, I know, but I mean, it's a kid's toy. Like, you know, it's pretty cool. Um, you know, it's really fun to kind of play with. You can kind of fly it around. Well, you know, not really, but I mean, you could pretend to like fly it around. And you know, if you have another kind of Lego set that's like a ship, you know, you should buy it with that one, because otherwise, you know, your kid's gonna have to imagine the other starship there, and that would be kind of boring. So at least make his or her imagination seem kind of sort of real. Um, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for this sort of toy review. Um, you know, I do plan on building my old Lego sets and probably doing reviews of those too. I may not be doing them recently, but we'll see how they go. Other than that, it's not it's not too bad of a Lego set. It's pretty pricey though. I mean, I would recommend maybe buying some smaller ones. You get more minifigures and you can have them fight each other, and you know, you could give your TIE fighter over there something to shoot at, you know. So anyway, just some ideas, you know, but of course whatever, you know, you do with it is up to you. You know, I personally like building these. I do enjoy kind of, you know, playing with them from time to time. I know, I admit that, and I'm like 20 years old, but whatever. Like, I could do it at one. Anyway, that is it, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching this awesome video. Again, sorry it took so long. It's just a lot to go over. And I want to try and give you something in detail. So, anyway, thanks for coming out. Hope to see you guys in my podcast, which is going to be coming out soon. We're going to be talking about aliens and do they relate to the Bible and other kind of space-related topics. So, you know, we're going to be talking about that, and hope to see you guys there. And, you know, this is KOS Avenger, otherwise known as Rebel80, signing off, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. See you guys on the flip side.